it's an incredible substance designed for the economy. It is the worst substance possible for the environment.
At No Plastic Waste, our mountaintop is to eliminate plastic pollution on land and ocean, and to ensure more than half of all plastics are produced in a circular manner by 2030. Our team starts really young.
No plastic waste. No plastic waste.
The first step to solving a problem in the world is to measure and quantify. No Plastic Waste went about this task with the Global Plastic Watch. While we can clearly see the plastic bottles choking our oceans and overwhelming our landfills, we do not currently have robust data about the exact size and extent of the plastic pollution problem. We know that the world produces more than 300 million tons of plastic every year. That's nearly equivalent to the weight of the entire human population. We know that up to 100 million tons of this plastic pollution is mismanaged and leaks into the ocean annually. The level of specifics beyond this gets very murky, however. We literally cannot put numbers to what this nearly 500 million tons problem means for us and the planet. And what we cannot measure, we cannot change. MINDEROO No Plastic Waste has an answer to this opacity through the Global Plastic Watch. We've assembled a team of data scientists, technologists, and subject matter experts, and together we developed a first-of-its-kind methodology to detect and monitor plastic pollution in real time on land and in coastal water globally. This methodology leverages publicly and freely available satellite imagery from the European Space Agency and NASA, as well as the latest advances in artificial intelligence in order to map plastic pollution so that it can be adequately managed before it reaches the ocean.
So that was Global Plastics Watch. But finding these hotspots isn't enough. We wanted to know who is creating these plastics. So we compiled the Plastic Waste Makers Index. Our landmark transparency report looked at the world's biggest producers of plastic waste and attracted global media attention. It was reported on in the BBC, The Guardian, The New York Times, The Financial Times, and dozens of other media outlets.
The future of the plastic waste crisis really sits in the hands of just 20 companies, who account for more than half of the waste we generate.
In 2021, we will build on the Waste Makers Index and advocate for companies and banks to include a plastic waste footprint in their annual reporting.
It is not just companies and banks. We have taken the Plastic Waste Makers Index and been out talking to lawmakers in Europe about our findings. We are shaping the conversation about how to turn the taps off on new plastic made from fossil fuels and to ramp up recycling. We are proposing tough, new regulations and laws. Andrew Forrest has already been to Europe to meet one of the key politicians who is delivering the EU Green Deal, Frans Timmermans.
So, quick recap. We've told you about Global Plastics Watch, tracking plastics from space with satellites and using machine learning technology. And you've heard about the Plastic Waste Makers Index, where we expose the biggest producers of single-use plastic waste. And we told you how we are trying to change laws to improve things. Now over to Laurie for a quick word about strategic investments.
We aim to invest heavily in technologies and innovations to crowd in money, drive down the cost of recycled plastics, and leverage the global MINDEROO platform. This means creating an investment ecosystem where innovations in waste collection, sorting, and recycling can gain scale and financial viability in the long term. One such example is an integrated plastic waste collection and recycling company operating in East Africa that is simultaneously addressing the plastic pollution crisis and disrupting the informal and exploitive plastic waste picking sector.
None of this could happen without our fantastic support team across the world. all of you at headquarters, but also Noeline in Perth, Nina in Amsterdam, and Simon in Hong Kong.
Servicing NPW's legal needs. So running 2 mountains in a day. Great cause, serious problem.
When you're faced with a very serious problem and you're very worried, it is tempting to use the expression Hakuna Matata, or don't worry about it, and try and hope that the problem will go away. I wish we could do that with the plastic waste crisis that is a clear and present danger to the world. If anything, I would use the Swahili expression wasiwasi, which is we have to worry a real lot. But thanks to our efforts from the MINDEROO Foundation and the No Plastic Waste, I do believe that we are going to solve this problem. Our approach is two-pronged and quite simple. First, we are going to shine a very, very bright light on how big the problem is and who the people are who are causing the problem. That is what the Global Plastics Watch did, and that is what the Waste Makers Index accomplished when we published it, as you saw in what we showed you before. We looked at industry who was causing this problem and said, "You are terrible, Muriel," if I can use that expression. Industry woke up thanks to our efforts, and now everybody is looking to see how do we solve this. Once again, MINDEROO to the rescue. The MINDEROO doctrine will establish a playbook where we take away any excuse from anyone who wants to solve the problem. And once we have this set up, we do believe that this problem will be solved. We are also working very actively with government agencies in the European Union, in the United Nations, in the United States to establish the standards so that plastics waste is clearly classified as the danger that it is, and the way to measure recycled plastics is very clearly set up. The last part of the hurdle, of course, is there going to be a demand for recycled plastics? Once again, the See the Future initiative of the MINDEROO Foundation brings the largest consumers of plastic under one roof. We consolidate the demand and provide a pricing mechanism so that people are able to invest in plastics recycling facilities with the right kind of financial returns. So we have identified the problem. The MINDEROO Foundation and No Plastic Waste comes up with a playbook to solve the problem, so you take the excuse away. Then once we bring the demand together, we have financially viable projects that we hope will mushroom across the world, and this problem should be solved thanks to us in the next 2 to 3 years. As you see, it is a fun group that is located across the world, with activities in Europe, in Southeast Asia, hopefully in Australia, and of course in the United States. We are looking for talented, ambitious people, so I do hope my phone starts ringing very, very soon. And thank you so much for being a part of this journey to eliminate plastics waste as a problem in the world today.